these PlayBook Power Hours to kind of help people who feel like they're struggling a bit to get kind of accountability, get a little push, get some inspiration so that they can finish their season strong. In my very thick book, I have my winter, my spring, and my summer. And I'm about to be adding my fall pages in here, which I cannot wait. I am actually editing the fall pages now as we speak. But this right here is like my manifesto of crafting, and I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. And you can download one for yourself in theresetgirl.com and go to our shop. We have a playbook section. It includes all of the editions you can purchase for the entire year. You can also purchase the kits that we've made. I have these special little playbook accessory kits that are really fun that I love using in here. I kind of have like my favorites my go-to kits. Plus, during a lot of our live shows during the month, we also have like freebies that you can get while the show is live to also use in your playbook. So I am really excited for today's show. This is the first Playbook Power Hour. I want to say the first Playbook Power Hour of the season. I could be wrong. Maybe I've done it one more time earlier in the season, but with just a few weeks to go, it is time to get crafting. And I am going to be looking for my friends here in the chat room to be joining me today. It is Monday, so it's a holiday here in the States. And this is my chance to see who has been joining me. But Mr. Mark, I don't know how to get the live up from here. Okay. So I need your help. Help, help, help. So in the meantime, I just wanted to let everybody know that this show is sponsored by the Crafty Club PlayBook and the letter P, as you can guess. So I never know which...
yeah, YouTube doesn't make it as friendly.
The Facebook group is always, when we were doing our lives there, was really a lot more simple. And this one is a little bit more complex. And I don't remember. At some point, you'd think after all the lives that I do that I would like nail that in my memory. But no, sadly, no. So I have no idea how many of my friends are going to be joining me today. Some people would have gone away. I think the Labor Day weekend is like a big deal here in the States. We have like 2 3-day weekends out of the year. I feel like we used to get Veterans Day as a 3-day weekend, but then that kind of, I don't know, I feel like something has morphed with that perhaps. And so it's kind of like not really a 3-day, but Labor Day and Memorial Day are your 2 guaranteed 3-day weekends. So a lot of my friends may have gone away for the weekend and are unable to participate and are watching me now as a replay. Hi, if that is you, hello. And some of my international girls are actually, it's Tuesday for them and very early on Tuesday. But we don't know because there we go. I see one little face. Hello from Norway. Good evening. So it is evening, Monday evening probably in Norway. Oh, and we have someone from Scotland. Hello. I can't see names because the writing is so teeny tiny on my little display over here. Mr. Crafty still has my tablet in the background that I'm waiting for so I can join in with my my live viewers. I do have some housekeeping that I could get to in the meantime. So if everyone is listening to me, this is some housekeeping, and there's some pretty important community announcements in this one, and I have a handful of them. Thank you, Mr. Crafty, so much.
Welcome.
All right,
You
yay.
make it so difficult.
Okay, hi. Hi, Linzel from South Africa. Hi, Anna. Hi, hello. Hi. Okay, so some of you guys are at work right now. Are watching us on your break. Some of us haven't got up to go. Hi, Mallory. She is in Australia. She said she'll be getting up real early for this one. So here's some important community announcements. So I want to make sure everybody is on the same page. Number 1, our newest collection, New Chapter, debuted in our shop just a few days ago. So New Chapter includes prompts for the Faithful Writing Challenge. So that is if you are into doing the Faithful Writing Challenge, our Scripture Writing Challenge is another way of calling it. Those prompts are available in the shop and as well, and then, and then as a list of prompts for free. So there is a free There are free prompts in the store. Lister's Got a List, which took a break for the summer, will be coming back for a fall edition, and I'm kind of contemplating doing something different with Lister's Got a List. Instead of it being a monthly challenge, I'm considering doing it like a seasonal challenge and just giving lots of prompts for the whole season and letting you pick and choose which ones you feel like doing. And then we like to share our lists in the Reset Girls Crafty Club on Facebook. So there is like a post that goes up every week to say, show all your lists what you've been making. So you can show whatever lists that you did, you can share with the group. And I feel like that kind of gives a little bit more like pacing. It's more balanced pacing and more like interest. So what you're really interested in doing. Lister's Got a List has kind of ebbed and flowed with different ideas, but I feel like I'm kind of leaning in that direction because I really enjoy having a lot of prompts to choose from and then just picking what I like and doing them when I feel like it. So that is something that will be debuting back in the fall. So right now it's just the scripture writing challenge for this month. And number 2, we have raised over $3,000 for our school supply drive that we are hosting. If you are interested in participating, there will be a link to donate in the description box below. There is also one in my previous live video on my YouTube channel that you can click that link as well. And in the Facebook group, there is a post that says thank you, and it has pictures of the kids. Miss Craig got permission to use them so that you could see their little faces and see who you directly supported and helped in getting little school supplies, and like kindergartners to college kids. So it's a really awesome thing that we were able to do that as a community. And I'm so, so proud of us. There is a new chapter in celebration of our new collection. There's a new chapter reading challenge in both Facebook groups. So one of them is faith-based. You can choose a book from the Bible or a faith-related book. And then there are some activities you do each week in regards to that. And then in the Crafty Club, there is just pick a book of your choice. And then there are little extra like activities. Every single week we'll be doing an activity. And I will be posting in both groups a place for you to share what you accomplished each week. So look for those. I'm very excited. It's the first time we've done a book reading anything kind of challenge, and I think this is a fun little segue to see how much interest there is. Perhaps it will lead into doing like a book club, which I have always wanted to do. I've mentioned it many times. So that is something that is happening in both Facebook groups. You don't have to do anything to participate other than find each of the graphics and just, let the group know what book you've decided to choose, and then look for the next post each week and just share what you've done. So you don't have to purchase anything. It's just a fun little free challenge to celebrate our awesome new collection, new chapter. The fall playbook is debuting in 2 weeks, you guys. 2 weeks. We are 2 weeks away from the fall book. So even though it is debuting and you can purchase it, we're still going to finish strong. We're going to go all the way to the end of September working in this last month of our playbook. So that is why we are having one of these PlayBook Power Hours, and hopefully I will get a few more scheduled on the calendar. This month is kind of tricky because we're actually going to be leaving on the 11th and heading out towards Maine, where we will be starting our reservation in Maine. It's outside of Portland, Maine, on October 1st. So I will be in the heart of fall on October 1st, just waiting for fall all around me. But I'm taking you with me. So we're going to get this playbook done. In the past, like last season, I did a lot of PlayBook Power Hours in that last month, and it was really helpful to a lot of you getting your playbook finished. So I'm really excited about that. Another announcement is our events calendar, theresetgirl.com. There is actually a button that says calendar. I would love for you guys to take a peek at that. There was actually 2 missing events off of the newsletter. If you're signed up for our newsletter, we always send you at the very bottom a list of all the events happening for the month ahead. And I accidentally left off 2 events. I'm so sorry about that. I left off an LNCC and a chapel. Shame on me. So there are 2 events missing from the newsletter. They are on the calendar. You can see what is happening, including we are having a Junk Journal Jamboree reunion this month. So you do not want to miss that. Make sure if you signed up for Junk Journal Jamboree and we're part of that, there is going to be a reunion, and we're going to be able to see everything we did. We're going to have be able to share our pictures, which I hopefully you guys have been doing in the Facebook group. You can continue doing that and see everything that's happening. I'm going to do a master flip through of my whole junk journal, and we're going to celebrate being junk journal, experts, for lack of a better word. And then finally, my last of the community announcements, I just want you guys to know that I deactivated my personal Facebook account. So Cori Speaker has been deactivated, and I don't believe now that you can tag me. I shut it down. It's not deleted yet, but that's my ultimate goal. Is I just want to use the Reset Girl page account as my Facebook. I just want to minimize like all of the social media in my life, and I want to spend, I don't personally enjoy Facebook. I have to be honest with you. The only reason why I ever created an account in the first place was for the Reset Girl, and I've given it a lot of thought. I really want to just have the Reset Girl, and that's it. That was really my goal in the first place, and as long as I'm able to access it and use it, then I feel like that's all I need. So I don't believe I can be tagged at this point. So you can't tag me, you can't Facebook message me. So I just want you guys to know that the Reset Girl account is me, and that's the only account. It's not just me. Mr. Crafty might use it from time to time as well, just to let you guys know about a live that's coming. That's generally what he uses it for, is like reminders, but it's me. So just to let you know, Cori Speaker has been put to rest on Facebook. So also text reminders. If you want to get on our text reminder list and get notified, hey, the Reset Girl is going to go live in 2 hours or 1 hour, it's really helpful. I mean, you can look at our calendar, you can put those things, the events in your planner, and you can still forget about it. It's really easy to do. A text is a little harder to miss. So you can text TRG to the number 94253, 94253, and we will send you a text message. If you are international, there's a little workaround for you because you can't use that directly. One of our international members reached out to us and let us know about an app called Text Now. Text Now, it's all one word. And if you go on Text Now, you can sign up for a US phone number that allows you to opt into texting platforms. So Text Now is what you'll need to do first in order to enroll in our texting program. And then just to remind you, it is really helpful being on YouTube. They have a crazy algorithm, and what helps us get kind of the word out that we're doing this live and kind of helping to grow our community is if you help by liking this video, which does require you to minimize the screen, the chat, so that you can access the actual video. You might actually have to get out and then jump back in, but I would really appreciate it if we could all just like the video to help speed it along in the algorithm. Also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe, and that way you'll be, I will end up being in your subscription feed when I post a new video, which most of my videos have been lives, which are always saved as a replay that you can go back and watch. And Mr. Crafty and I go back and add timestamps to everything. So if you want to just jump into what you're interested in, you don't have to sit through a 2-hour-long video, 3-hour-long video. You can just click on a timestamp and be whisked right there to the spot you want to watch. And in addition, I'm going to be adding more pre-recorded videos. I swear, it's happening. So hitting the bell alongside of the subscription will also give you a notification on your phone like, hey, the Reset Girl is live, or hey, the Reset Girl posted a video, should you opt not to do the texting program. I will say that the texting is probably more reliable than the YouTube, because I have been signed up for notifications that I haven't gotten. So it's kind of it's mixed. I'm not quite sure how reliable it is, really. So what has been happening, you guys? Oh, yay. I see all of my friends. Hello, hello, hello. You guys are all busy chatting. Hi, Miss Carla. Hi, Denise. Hello, hello, Teresa. Hi, Julie. So the number for texting is TRG to 94253. 94253. you need to text the letters TRG to 94253. It sounds like a zip code. So Mr. Crafty and I just celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary. We had gotten married on a Labor Day weekend 5 years ago, and it was a really awesome event because we went down to the Oregon coast. We rented a house, like a lake house, and his family and my family all came, and we all shared the house. And then we got married in this little teeny tiny church it's like right on the beach, kind of. And afterwards, this kid that we hired to perform at our wedding, he played on a guitar, so talented, but he played the song, I always forget this song, I don't know why. Hang on a second. It's a Jason Mraz song. I love this song so much. For whatever reason, my brain just always freezes when I go to think of the song. I'm Yours. Yes, I'm Yours. So he sang the song, I'm Yours, and serenaded us while we walked down to the beach and got all of our photos taken at sunset. I mean, it was like the most perfect, simple, sweet little wedding ever. So Mr. Crafty and I, we are not really big on celebrating a lot of different things. We're kind of lame that way. So I asked him, I said, you know, can we please go and do something fun for our anniversary? It's 5. I feel like that's kind of a milestone for, so I just decided that we needed to do something. So we opted to, for the very first time, actually go visit a national park in this state. Washington actually has a fair amount of national parks. There's only 61 in the country, and we actually have, I want to say we have 5 of them. But I've never been to any because introvert life. So we decided to go out that direction, out towards the coast. It was like a little 2-day event. It was so much fun. And the first night we didn't have reservations anywhere, so we just stayed like whatever was available. And we actually had a room with a view of the Sound, which was so beautiful, in Port Angeles. And then on day 2, we go to where Mr. Crafty made reservations, and we kind of picked whatever was available of the 5 different locations the National Park Service recommended on their website. So we just picked it because it was available. Okay, I want to just preface that. So we picked it because it was available. We go to the, we finally get there after a few hours of driving, and we get there just in time for dinner, and they seat us in the dining room, and I mean, it was just spectacular. It kind of reminded me of the hotel in Dirty Dancing, where it was very much like that. So there's a big sweeping view of the lake, and there's all these kayaks on the shore, and this big sweeping lawn that people are kind of sitting and having wine, and I'm looking, and I look the other direction, and I see the back of the hotel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so familiar. And then I realize where I am. I am actually, you guys are not going to believe this, I am actually inside the photo that I took and shared with you guys during Camp Reset. I'm sorry, Camp Wanna Craft. And I kept saying, this is Lake Reset down here, and here's the community center. This was like my little pretend Camp Wanna Craft that I put in my junk journal. I made it like part of my memory keeping. I found this in a magazine that I had purchased about the Pacific Northwest. And to me, this just epitomized Camp Wanna Craft, what I imagined it would look like, how beautiful and woodsy, and it was just like perfect. It was the perfect location. And this is actually where we were at. We were sitting, this building right here is actually the dining room. So we were sitting in there eating dinner. And that was the actual, this is the hotel where you can reserve a room. And so we ended up staying here, and that was just like a really funny coincidence. We walked down to the shore after dinner, and we sat there, and it was very overcast, really kind of blue, like the sky, the air almost felt like blue. It felt a little like, I don't know, it's haunting is the right word. It was just very like still. You could hear people talking like across the lake. The air was just very still and quiet, and there was like a fire going on. But I just could not get over the fact that I was inside of the photo. It was kind of like a very much a God wink moment, because I totally picked this picture out of this magazine at random. Like, oh yeah, that's a really pretty picture. I love that. And then had no idea. So it was really it was really awesome that it turned out that way. So we had a really great weekend. I shut off my phone. I just unplugged from everything and just hung out with my boyfriend, and we just had such a good time together. And it was kind of fun because in our memory, during our wedding weekend, I actually I posted for the first time. It was my very first giveaway on Instagram, and the hashtag was the Reset Girl Weds. That was my hashtag, and that's kind of the first thing I did that kind of made my account grow. And I think I got to like 750 subscribers, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So I remember my wedding weekend and like looking at Instagram and seeing like how my little giveaway was doing and everything. And just a few months later, Mr. Crafty and I started our sticker shop, in November. And so it has been 5 years that the Reset Girl has been established. November is going to be an amazing month because we are going to be calling it our Customer Appreciation Month. So we're going to be doing 4 weeks of super fun things for you guys because we love you so much and want to just show you love. And we're celebrating 5 years of having the Reset Girl shop and all that it has done for us and afforded us. So we want to do fun things for you to show you appreciation. So that's going to be coming up in November. So I'm about ready to dive in. I've been talking for 25 minutes. I am currently busy planning our winter camp and our 2020 playbook. So I have 2 really big initiatives I'm working on at the same time, but I'm super excited because this is the kind of planning I love. Love, love, love. So there is a Crafty Club PlayBook post in the Facebook group. If you want to find that one, it'll just say like, share your playbook pages for, from this date to this date. So whatever the current date, the current week is what's live, and you can share what you make during our PlayBook Power Hour. That'll be a great place to share those because then everyone can see all the playbook pages. So I'm looking for playbook pages. If you opt to craft something else, that's totally your right and you can do that. But I would rather everyone just share their playbook pages because those posts are specifically for that, and that will help people just be able to grab one post and kind of like sort through it and get inspiration for how you can complete your own. And last but not least, if you are new to this live, this is your first time joining a live, I would love for you to let us know so that we can welcome you. My girls in the group are just so great at welcoming people to our lives. So let us know if you are new. And I am ready to start jumping in. I have not worked in my book since the last time, let's see, I had a Late Night Crafty Club. It was probably the last time that I did it, and I kind of, I felt like I made progress the last time I worked in this. I did. I have summer to work on, so I can see just looking at this that I did make progress. So I'm going to show you my page checklist, which you guys all have if you want to grab your page checklist out and with your book and take an assessment of what you have left to do. This will be very handy as we do PlayBook Power Hours so that you can really get a true sense of like, what do I have left? And then for what I do is when I see how much I have left to do, I create a strategy. So I make a decision like how I'm going to do. Usually it's my art journaling pages are kind of the last thing that I do. So with those, I tend to like go, okay, I'm going to pick really simple ways of just completing them. So I'll pick a style of paper crafting that's like very simple, but I like it. And that's how I can bust out a lot, in one time. And I'll show that to you in just a second when we flip down the camera. So I'm going to ask Mr. Crafty to grab the camera and move it upside down. And you guys know the drill. This is a time where you either close your eyes because you get motion sickness really easy, or you grab a buddy. Grab a friend because we're going upside down. Yay!
Not to the upside down.
Not. Okay. Okay, so I have my this live. Welcome, 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 girl. On an easy jump. I real so
Okay, try that.
okay. I'm back. I'm back. Can everybody hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Can you guys hear me?
Something's going on with this external microphone. So
Okay.
I'm just going to turn it off.
They can hear me.
Yeah, I turned on the Mevo mic and turned off this lapel mic.
Okay. So you guys can't. You guys can't. So Mr. Crafty turned off my other mic, so now I'm back to the old mic, which won't sound as great in the replay, but it is what it is. He's having a technical problem with that little guy. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you, in case you've ever missed it, I keep this little plastic file folder here. It's got little sections. This is mostly my playbook stuff. I also have like a whole section for honeys back here, but I find it really easy to keep all my playbook section stuff together. And then I added one folder, like a little folder that I keep in here. This one folder I'm going to be keeping my checklist page in, so that I always have that at the ready. I have prompts available for doing the art journaling pages, and then I have the prompts from Lister's Got a List. This is the summer prompts. So these are all the things I need for my playbook currently, and so I just keep them in a separate folder from everything else, and that way I always have them handy. So I do have some other things in here, like some of the oh look, here's my September, the little September checklist. That actually should go in there. And then I have like the bingo check marks. These are things that were made as freebies. There's playbook accessory kits in here, which I really love. These are things that we did as freebies, or some of them are for purchase. So if you've not grabbed a playbook, it is not too late. It is actually, believe it or not, it is actually really easy and quick to work in the playbook. You could buy one now at the beginning of September and get all 3 months done. Believe it or not. So I like to use, this was a freebie. You can still purchase these in our shop, but these are the little bingo markers that I love to use. So I have my bingo prompts checklist and my bingo markers, because I think those need to go into our September pages. Okay, so let's see how I did with my summer as a whole. So I still have some pages here in August to do, and here was my summer collage. So I have a few pages that represent the entire season, and this was my summer collage, which I love doing so much that I'm going to do my fall the same way. And then this is July, so I'm going to skip July. Whoop, whoop. I did get all 4 weeks of July done. Here's my memory keeping, and here's August. Here we go. So I did fill this out for August. I still have to do my Dress the Honeys, so those have not been checked off here. And then I've done my listing, which is this is the currently pages. And then I have my bingo, which you can see here. I still have a few extra that I didn't complete. And this is what I mean about covering up my prompts. So I like to cut squares out and cover them when I complete them. And then that's what these little checklists are for, is so that you can keep track of what the prompts actually said. Because I love the look of a finished bingo sheet. Some people like to see the prompts still on there. I don't care. I like, this is fine, is just having a list of what I did. I need to punch this and add this in here. So, but right now it's attached right there. Then I have my August, the last of my August gratitude. Clearly I need to finish being grateful for that month. And then I have all of my art journaling pages. This is generally where I'm at most of the time, is my art journaling pages. I tend to do them all in one shot, or like 2 shots. So like I'll do 2 pages in one session and then do the other 2. I didn't do, let's see, how many of my listers, I chose to do the listing prompts for this spread, and I think I have done 2. Yeah, 3. I did 3. So I did these as some of my prompt answers were actually in visuals. So one of the prompts was fun things that happened this month, and I answered it with pictures. Here is destination wish list. This was one of the listers got a list questions. So I just need to complete this whole spread with how many there is. I actually did my memory keeping already, which is usually something I have left over till the end. So I'm thinking what I want to do is my honeys, because they tend to be a little more work. And one time I like waited too long to do it, and it ended up being, I don't know, more problematic than I would have liked. So I'm going to see if I can just finish it out and get it over with, right? So that's what I'm going to be working on during our session. What else? What are you guys going to be working on? So let me know in the chat room what you guys are going to be working on during our session, which pages of your playbook. And I'm going to start doing my Dress the Girl pages, the Dress the Honeys. So here is what I do here is go, so I take vellum. This is what I'm going to do, is give them new clothes. I like making clothes for them out of scrapbook paper, and how I get there is by making a pattern for them out of vellum. So last time, this was their little outfits I made. If I had this to do over again, I wouldn't have picked such like fall patterns and stuff. Like, they look very fall to me instead of summer. So I'm going to try and make these a little bit more summery, which means reaching for totally different paper. So Laurette is working on art journaling pages. Hannah says that she loves dressing the honeys, one of her favorite pages. Hannah, are you Hannah Marie in the Facebook group? I just want to double check. Justina says she's working on her taxes. That does not sound like fun. Emmy's doing laundry. Judy's doing a mini book. Robin is working on her challenge pages. Lynn is doing her Dress the Honeys page. Okay, so I am... Okay, so her hand is pretty. So what I'm doing is making an outline so that the dress will fit around her hand. It's on top of her dress. Okay, thanks, Hannah. I just want to make sure if you were the same Hannah. Sometimes YouTube names are a little different than Facebook names. But thank you. How many of you guys are going to do the new chapter challenge with me this month? I'm going back and forth on what book I want to do. In the Faithful group, I think the book I want to do is the Book of Proverbs, which is not, I think that's kind of an unusual choice for me, because I don't generally, actually I think I'm going to make another piece too. I'm going to do this little piece separate here on our dress. I don't gravitate towards Proverbs normally. Mostly because it tends to make me feel like something I can never achieve. But I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to get one of my one of my traveler notebooks, because I have a few of these like really nice like thicker books. This is one of the Stayology books. Like, is that stuck? So like one of these. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if like each page was dedicated to like a piece of wisdom? So it was like a whole book of wisdom. That's kind of why I was thinking about it. And I could add quotes from the Proverbs. I could add quotes from just like smart things people have said. I could make it funny and add quotes, funny quotes too, from like some different TV shows. Like some characters have said some pretty funny things. So that's what I was kind of leaning towards, was like maybe doing it from Proverbs, the book of Proverbs. Wow, she's got a tiny little waist. I think I'm going to make the belt on her dress like a totally different paper. I think that would be cool. So, because everything I'm cutting from this one piece is going to be all, let's see here. How will it, so I'm just going to do this and come up here to make that solid. So it'd be a dress that I cut out like and then that just needs to get, hopefully I drew that right. Okay, so there's that's that dress, and finally the last dress. Okay, and then up her hip. Okay, let me make sure again. So I'm probably going to go back once I've made the solid piece of her dress. I'm probably going to go back and then add buttons over the dress, because I think that would be really cute. Okay, so I need to trace the belt now. And it will need to have like lines added to show. There's that. Okay, so I think those are the outfits. Okay, so let's pick out some paper. So this time I want it to be a little bit more lighter and summery than I did last time. And I like to use the smaller pads for this, like the 6x8 or the 6x6, because the scale is very tiny. So there's one. There's that. another. Like that one. That could be cute. That's pretty. That looks good. Okay. Okay, so what I like to do is try to imagine what this finished dress is going to be like with all the different little accessories. Like this dress right here is going to get these buttons added to it after it's done. So I'm trying to like picture in my head, is this pattern going to look cute with like little dots that represent buttons? So maybe this dress, I might do this blue. And then a dress like this to me feels a little bit more, I don't know, cool and modern maybe. These both do actually. So I kind of like that idea. And then, so this would be like the 3 patterns. That could be this dress with, would that look good on the middle of it? Or this with this in the middle of it? Sometimes it's hard to visualize it. So there's actually 2 pieces to this dress for me. So I gotta think about how that's gonna look. Poolside is one of my favorite pattern books. I'm gonna pull this one. This is one of my favorite papers of all time. Like regular size, I use it in so many things. So like this could be really cute as like, this is the background of it, and then this is the center of it, is this smaller blue and cream. And then this one could be this, and then she'll get a belt in a different fabric. So maybe her belt is this, and then this is this girl. So they're all going to be kind of like a little eclectic, but more summery. I kind of like that. Or I could use the flowered one in this dress. Let me see here. This would be more lighter, and it's like office paper, like ledger and stuff, which I love so much. Or she could have a dress that's all about the swim lifeguard on duty. Sometimes I like making them dresses out of like advertisement and stuff, so it's got like interesting. I think that would look weird with all the. Or she could have a pool dress. It's just water. Or this one would be cute with little dots. Okay, so I'm gonna let it be between these 2. Let's see, let them go head to head. And then all of these, push all of that aside. Putting stuff away. Okay. Now is the fun part, is the cutting of the clothes. So I'm going to do her first, and she is this 2-parter right here. So I'm going to cut out her things first. Okay, so I said the dress would be red with a okay, so I think it's gonna, the dress itself is gonna be this color. So I'm gonna cut it like this, all in one piece. I think I've tried it before and I don't remember if I liked it or not, so I think what I'm gonna do is try it one more time and see. Most of the time I cut this piece out and then I put it on top of the paper and cut the paper. So I'm tacking it down with a little bit of glue to make it easier, and then I'm getting out my fussy cutters. Bye, Mallory. Have a great day at work. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so this is where her hand is on the dress, and I want that to be I want that to stand out. So I'm gonna, in other words, I don't want to cover it up with the paper that I'm gonna lay on top. So I'm cutting out where her hand is so that it will still stand out on the dress. So I outlined, hopefully this is gonna work. That one was a little bit more detailed than I'm used to. So let me see here. Okay, so I look like I did it okay. So there's her dress, and now I'm going to cut the piece here, and I want to make sure that I incorporate this really awesome part of the paper, which is this down here. So it's going to come all the way down. So I'm bringing it all the way down to the edge. Actually, I'm going to put it on this side since I already cut into this side of the paper. And this is going to sit on top of the dress in this and then she has this little notch here where her thumb crosses over the other pattern. Okay. So now I'm going to Tammy's asking if these Delusion sticks are as good as the Ranger, and I would say yes. The formula is slightly different. It's not as moist, and like it doesn't break apart. It doesn't. It's not as wet and creamy, so it's a little firmer. And other than that, I think that it's fantastic. I love it. This is my favorite glue. I order this all the time from Amazon. It's the only glue for me. Okay, so I think that matches the notch. So if these don't match down here, then I'm going to trim. So it'll look like that. Okay, and then I want to add these little tiny stitch marks like she has here because I really love those. So I'm going to add them here on. I love this part of the playbook. It so reminds me of my favorite show, Project Runway. I was really bummed about Heidi and Tim not doing Project Runway anymore, so I'm not watching the new season, but it has given me many seasons of joy watching these people create. It's very inspiring to me. So this is very much reminds me of Project Runway for some reason. Okay. So now it's a matter of wiggling it on her so that it fits just so. So there's there's her dress. Okay, and now on to the next one, which is, I think it's going to be this pattern, and then I'm going to make a tie out of this pattern. So let me cut this out like so. Okay, so I'm tacking it down with a little bit of glue, and then starting my cut. Okay, there's that, there's that. So there's that part of the dress, and now I am one of the things that we listened to in the car on our little trip was I listened to the last summer's Camp Wannacraft, the Camp Resets playlist for like our dance party, which is still up on my YouTube channel. If you did Camp Reset last year, you still have access to that. And I listened to the Camp Wannacraft old school playlist, because there is really good songs from the 80s. So that is what I actually listened to, is songs from camp. Our camp time. Okay, so on this particular dress, one of the things I think that is necessary is having like a shadow, like a line that comes down here. And I'm just kind of placing it where I see it here in the this outline. Ooh, this is kind of tricky. So I'm adding in like little sketches onto the fabric so that it looks like she has a waist. And fabric naturally makes folds with like a shadow, so we want to give her like a little bit of dimension just because her outfit is just, I don't know, much more. I'm going to give her like a pocket here. The other side didn't have a pocket, and then she needs like a slit right here. Okay, so those are the details I'm adding. Now I'm going to cut her belt, which this belt's pretty small here, so I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut it from the lightest. This paper is kind of ombre, and it's got a very light edge over here, so I think I'm going to cut it from like the lighter side. Hi, Mr. Crafty.
Hello.
What you up to?
I was looking for our LED lights to give you something to help you. You don't know where our LED lights are, do you?
They are down below in the brown IKEA cabinet. Okay, so now this is so fun. I'm making paper clothes. What's wrong?
Nothing.
You're staring at me. You're
Does it make you nervous?
You're standing over my shoulder.
If you wanted to do more to her dress, let me know. If you wanted to do more shadows.
Okay, thank you.
Or if you need to do any more shadows to anybody else, let me know.
Okay, thanks, sir. Actually, I need my readers. Is what I need. I need to see better what I'm doing here. Aha! Okay, so here is my little, ooh, pull it gently. There's a little belt. So, I'm going to glue the belt on now. I don't know about where you guys are, but it is definitely, the hints of fall are in the air here in the Pacific Northwest. I saw so many trees that had yellow leaves. It was crazy. They're starting to get fallish here. I'm putting like a little bit of dimension on the edge of this belt. Okay, now I'm going to glue it on. So these clothes feel a little bit more summery and lighter than the last group did. Okay, there's her dress. And the last dress, which is this one. So when you are undecided, what you can do is like, so here's my dress. Is I can take my little dress here and I can lay it over where I want to cut. And this will give me an idea of like what it's going to look like. So obviously this swim hillside pole here is like the most profound part of this piece. But I gotta make sure her sleeve is incorporated too. Oh, no, if I did that, it'll be backwards. So it has to come right, at least right there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do a swim dress. It's going to be a little avant-garde, because there's really nothing else on here that's as cool as that. So it's just a matter of positioning it on the paper. So I want to give it, like down here at the bottom of the page of this sheet, I want to give it like a little edge of the pink. So it's going to end up like that. And if I want to, I can even like cut her out a collar and make sure her collar is like from a different pattern paper, so that there's even more detail in her dress. I want to add little enamel dots to her dress that are going to go up the front of her. Well, actually, now that I just think of it, they can't be enamel buttons, but I can make like gold buttons. One of my things I love doing is punching little gold glitter dots, or using the gold dots, my little stickers from my reinforcement stickers, the little interior. The great thing is this paper has the word August in it, which is what these girls are for, or August, so that's cool that it ended up there. You can see Aug right there. There, August. So I feel like she needs a collar, personally. So I am going to cut her a little collar. I need my pencil. Okay. So I just need to decide what does that collar need to be cut out of to make it stand out, because this dress is pretty like crazy. So if I put this paper up here, it would look like a collar. So that paper is this paper right here. Okay, so now I'm peeling off the detail, which means I need to put it back on. So I know I'm getting a little detailed here. So this, I'm gonna draw the little line out here more, where there's like shadow. Okay. And then, oop, this needs to go on the dress. There. Okay, so let's get this dress on her. How cute is that? Okay, so now I want to get I might not do the double, she had double buttons, but what I think I'll do is some single buttons.
And then what you can do is either on a window or a sliding glass door is if you wanted to do some of the, oh, that doesn't go all the way through.
Because I have something behind it.
Okay. Well.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thanks for trying. Thanks for playing.
Hashtag fail.
Is hashtag try, honey. What can I say? I was being tricksy. Okay, so I'm going to just do like single dots down the front of her, which is still super cute. I'm going to give her a gold earring. There. I am looking. So I'm giving them jewelry made with my stickers here. They're all getting bangles. Okay, so she has, let me see here. I'm trying to see what else I have. I could put this gold ampersand as her earring. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, see, that's super cute. So I'm going to put the other one here, and then I'm going to kind of cut it away where it wouldn't be showing because of her hair. It's like surgery. Oh, do I have a craft knife? I have a craft knife. So this part of the earring wouldn't show if that was in her hair. There. There, I gave her jewelry. And since this is a collection, there would be similar designs and pieces in it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is they need skin. And I'm going to sit here and go, I don't know where my pencil is for skin. Oh, maybe it's in here. I think it's kind of this pink color. I don't really have a lot of options. I think it's that color that I use for their skin. Okay, oh, and they need lipstick. I don't see, I'm not, let's see. I usually use this for their lipstick. This kind of, it's kind of like a berry color. And then this one is more of like this bright red. And I also give them a little bit of color to their cheeks and stuff. So, all right, so we're going to start with her. She's the least amount of skin showing here. So I'm just kind of lightly shading in color. You can also color them in before you dress them, and I've done that way before. I've done it both ways. That's definitely fleshy. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of like the yellow ochre. I think that's what this color is, to make it a little bit less pinky and more beigey. I would say it's more subtle. Teresa says her uncle calls lipsticks pucker paint. That sounds like something an uncle or grandpa would say. Pucker paint. That's funny. Okay. So this didn't take as long as I feared it would. You can simply color your honeys in and just color their clothes. You don't have to go to this length. I just enjoy the challenge of it. This is one of my favorite pages to do in the book. But you are welcome to just color them in. If it's just kind of like, oh, it's just a page to you, then don't feel you have to go do all this. Okay, so I'm going to give her more of the brighter red, I think. Trying to give her a little bit of blush, but like being really careful not to overdo it. Okay, I think this is the color. I kind of want to do both of these colors, so how do I do this? Oop. I think these ampersand earrings are fabulous. That might be a new product idea. Note to self. There we go. She's got interesting color hair. And then I think I'm going to go a little darker with her skin. The only problem with the slightly darker color I notice is it shows the pencil line so much more. But maybe, okay, I'm making a quick little paint pot here. It's okay, Mr. Crafty, I got it. Ah, I got ice on my girl. I got it. I can hear you rustling around in there like you're trying to save me. I got a little bit of water on her, but that'll dry. Okay, so I'm gonna... You really don't need a lot of water with the watercolor pencils. It's just like to help soften and blend the pencil lines. I feel like I'm missing a paintbrush. This isn't the only one I have. Do I have a water brush? Oh, and another detail I like to put on these girls is their, if they have any kind of fingers showing, I like to put fingernail polish on their nails. And generally they all get red nail polish. It's just, I feel like the color stands out better. Wait, that's right. Paint you. Okay, so then I'm going to blend in her face. Okay, and then I'm putting on okay, and lastly is this blonde lady. She's like sporting her spa outfit. I'm just careful not to color her eyeballs. Okay, and then I'm going to put some That looks like she doesn't know how to put lipstick on. Put a little necklace on her. To me, when I first laid eyes on her, I just saw her as a blonde, so. But it is just a matter of coloring her hair any color you want. She can be redhead, brunette, a raven beauty. Okay, so there they are, and I really liked the way that it looked last month when I used these, so I think I'm going to use them again. Just trying to decide how is it going to come into the page? Like that would be kind of pretty up there. I'm going to put this one on her dress just for fun. Okay. Oh goodness gracious. These little stickers are, they are a struggle sometimes. I really like the way these turned out, and these girls definitely feel a lot more summery. They feel more Augusty. I wish I had thought about that last month when I did my July girls, because they are full on wearing fall clothes. What's really cool about these is I feel like they're so effortless. Like you don't even have to try that hard to find a cool way to place them. Okay, so now they go along more with my July girls. Okay, so there's my August honeys. Okay, so let me go back to where they belong here. And they are Okay, so there is my honeys, and let's see, I'm gonna go with Super Awesome. It's one of the so Super Awesome is gonna get the Slap It High. Okay, where is my glue stick? Super Awesome is going to get my Slap It High, and Dress the Honeys, which I am so proud of my honeys. I'm going to give them the So Proud bingo marker. Okay, there's that one. That one I already did. Okay, so that should leave. Okay, so okay, I gotta finish my gratitude, and I think what I'll do here is do one art journaling page. So I mentioned earlier in the show, when I first started, about how when I have a lot of pages to do at once, one strategy that I have is picking a really easy button way of doing a page. So instead of being really detailed and doing like each art journaling layout differently, I'll pick a really simple method. So I think I did these in one of the Late Night Crafty Clubs or something. So for me on this one, it was like picking really big pieces of background that brings a lot of design into your page already, and then just adding simple elements. So with this one, I had 2 magazine pages up on my desk that I snipped these 2 girls out. So I picked a really big piece and then put each girl down, and then picked small little pieces to add. So that was how I achieved these. These girls came from creating strips. Like, she was a long, kind of slender image in her magazine page. So I just made some very long strips to go with her. This was about loving some of the papers that were in my paper bin, my little what do I call that, my paper stash. I'm losing words again, guys. Words are hard. I can't think of what I call this. My stash thing. This is what I call this thing. It's like it has all my like special important pieces on it. Okay, it's getting warm in here. So I found some papers in there that I have that I really love, and I just decided to make like a very kind of rip up paper and make my own little background with it. So when I was mentioning that earlier about strategy, that's one of my strategies. Is I'll decide, like, okay, I want to really bust these out really quick, so I'm going to pick a method or a style of decorating that's going to go fast, that's going to have like a fast feel to it and not be super fussy. So that is what I am suggesting you can try. For instance, one thing you could do is the 6x6 or the scrap stash. Thank you, Mark. The That was driving me crazy. Okay, so one of the things you could do is grab one of your paper pads, the small ones like the 6x6, the 6x8, and use this as like your foundation. It's like you could just lay that down and then start decorating on it. You could put this, you can marry it with oh goodness gracious, a journaling card or one of your journaling spots. Like this is it to me, this is a journaling spot. So it just creates a place for me to journal something. Obviously, I'm kind of missing a visual image, so I might pick like a picture from a magazine, something from Pinterest. I might match it with like a simple honey, and then like before you know it, or a hunk, and then before you know it, I have a page complete. So you might challenge yourself. So you could say, I'm going to do this spread in like 3 elements, like 3 main elements each. So that could be like a recipe you have for yourself. So it's background, a journaling spot, and then some kind of embellishment. It could be a hunk, a honey, a die cut, a floral. It could be one of those things. So you can make recipes for yourself and kind of stick to that. Especially because a lot of times what happens is this kind of sneaks up on you. You know, the month will sneak up on you, and then you'll feel like, oh my gosh, look at all these blank pages I have. And there's no reason to feel that way, because we can really bust things out very quickly that will get you crafting in no time. So it's just a matter of like making smart choices in what you pick, and having some formulas like that can be really helpful. And that might be something that I talk about more in the winter camp that I have coming up, which will you guys will start hearing more about as we get into fall, is winter camp, which will have more crafting. But I think winter camp is going to have crafting that's kind of designed, the camp is going to be more designed to help you be successful through the year. It's not just, the focus won't be just like, here's a bunch of stuff we're going to do during winter. It's going to be more, I'm thinking, here's some ways to build upon a foundation. So let's build our foundation in the winter and make some good habits, and by the time summer comes and we do summer camp, then we can full-blown like go to town. So there will be crafting in it, but it's like foundational crafting. That's kind of what I was leaning towards, kind of like helping you set up, you know, crafting sessions and be kind of look at creativity differently, and so that to really help you treat it more like a priority in your life, and less like a second choice, more like I need to craft it to express myself. And I think that can be very helpful, especially for those of us, you know, that struggle with things like seasonal depression is a thing, and a lot of people have that issue, especially, you know, as fall kind of melds into winter, that becomes more of a struggle for people. You know, plus things in life, just going through life throws curveballs at us. So those could be helpful, you know, just like having a crafty coach, much like I did during summer camp, but this time it would be with a winter focus and helping you get prepped for the year, if that makes sense. Okay, so I think my chat room stopped. Okay, maybe not, maybe yes, not sure. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one of my I'm gonna do one page, and then I'm gonna call it. How many of you guys, what month are you guys working on? Let me know in the chat room what month you're all on in your playbook. One thing I like to do with my art journaling pages is I pick the prompt after. This is my own special challenge. I'm not saying that anyone do this, but I like to design what I want and then find a prompt that matches it. And oftentimes I end up with like really cool it ends up being really cool that way. But the prompts are designed to help you have a jumping off point. So they are designed to be the first thing that you pick and lay down so that you know where to start. I just happen to like turning that on its head and doing it differently. So I think so Lorette is finishing August, Vicky's August, Terry's August, Laura's August, Yvette, superstar that she is, she's working on her September pages, and just started September but has a few things left to do for August. Okay, I hope I say this right. I'm Sanani. Okay. Oop. No, I didn't want to do anything. I'm Sanani. I hope I'm saying that right. She said that I missed a couple of pages in July. Now they're done. I'm on to August. Hannah just needs to finish her gratitude in August and starting the washi ring page in September. That's right. The fun little activity in September is getting to do the washi ring. So you guys get to take strips of washi and build your own your ideal washi ring, whatever that means to you. So I just found these in my stash. These are from something, Life Love Paper. I ordered something from her and I don't know what, I don't remember, but they're these cool little cards. So maybe I will incorporate that. I don't remember ordering those. Maybe that was like a little freebie. Serenity says Donna's working on August. Excellent. Maura says doing August and July. Victoria is doing August. Bug and Me Creations is working on September. So yeah, you guys, this is a really great time. We have like this reset. The beginning of the month is like so. Lynn, thank you very much. Okay, I will marry that in my head that you are Lynn. Okay. Sharon isn't doing August. Martha's doing August. Well, I hope that I have encouraged you guys that you can see that I don't have any of my August journaling pages done, or my listers got a list. I have very few. I only did like 4 prompts there. So I didn't stay on top of this as much as I would have liked. But then again, it's not necessarily a race. You know, don't feel like you have to, if you end up with a really busy month, and that just is what it is, it's, you know, where you have a slowdown, go back and work on those pages. I've mentioned many times before that when we first launched the playbook, I actually didn't do anything in January until like mid to late February. And that's like when I went back and did January. So, and then I finished January in March. So if that makes you feel better, it is possible. This really, if you like were just sat down and really did it, I kind of timed myself one time. You could really finish an entire month's work in your playbook in just like an afternoon. If you really sat down and just like busted it out, you really could. Now, it would mean like making, you know, speedier decisions, not being as leisurely about it. And I think that for the most part, you should feel a bit leisurely about doing your playbook. It shouldn't feel like a race. Because the point of it is this is really self-care. Taking the time, spending time doing this, making those decisions, making those connections, your brain ends up in this really happy, feel-good place. You know, all your little synapses are firing, your creativity is just kind of like, it creates like endorphins, and so your brain feels really happy when you're doing this. So it's a really good place. If you feel stressed or sad or something, this is a good thing to turn to. It's much better than turning to ice cream, turning to French fries, turning to turning to chocolate. It can be something that your brain can have the same like pleasure feels from, that, you know, ends up being on your hips instead. Like I usually pick food as my feel-good thing, and I have to really start making better habits in reaching for this. This has not really been like crafting in general hasn't really been that for me, but I want it to be. So I That's what I really want to stress more, is about treating creativity like true self-care, and that is something I want to encourage you and get you to kind of appreciate and do in our in winter camp. So I'm going to pick, I just picked out a magazine. It's Where Women Create, and I just pulled it out. This is The Autumn of My Life. I'm going to save that for my fall. I'm going to put that in the folder so I don't forget that I have it. So I am going to pick out some pretty pictures. That's pretty. I love everything in this whole magazine. I mean, it's all super, like, a lot of times it's kind of expensive, but oh so delicious. Like, I love that. Here, I just found a really great page for one of my August pages, and I'm just going with this. This is the whole thing. It's done all the work for me. So I need to trim it down. Okay, and now I'm gonna marry it with some paper. So my next goal is to find some paper to put behind this. Like, one paper that could be really great is this, like, old sewing paper. That's not really helping it be popping. Kind of, but not exactly. Okay, I kind of like that. Mostly because I just love black and white, anything with color. Like that. I think I need to trim off this white band right here. So it's just a page from a magazine with some scrapbook paper. And I know this is super cheesy, but instead of covering up all this paper, I think I'm going to save some of it for my scrap stash, because I really love this pattern, and it was kind of like a paper I really liked. And that way I'm not wasting all of it. So I'm just going to put it like that. This is actually a Christmas paper, and it's been in my stash for a while. I just love that, like, tweed, black and white, tweedy. Reminds me of like a coat you'd put on in the wintertime. Okay, so okay, and then this one, just kind of like putting a bit more like that. And then because I have this round shape here, I think some layering circles will come to the rescue, as always. And then I'm going to pull my stamping elements. This is from my junk. I always say junk. This is from my journaling essentials kit. This is the stamps sheet. So instead of actually stamping, I'm just going to add some of my stickers. Plus I need to get some washi down because I have a prompt that I have not finished. So here's my journaling. Here's my awesome like little homage to circles. I'm going to put some washi down here. I'm going to put several pieces of washi because I have a washi prompt that I need to satisfy. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with this washi because it is... Okay, so this is a trick that I showed you guys before, and it's to help put down washi on... what do I do with those two pieces of paper? This is for putting down washi on something that's going to be like really, because washi is transparent for the most part. So if you don't want it to bleed through, I'm just trying to find some paper. This is one of my tricks that I like to do is I will just put washi down on a regular piece of paper, and now it has a nice crisp white backing, and now you'll be able to, it'll be able to not be transparent, nothing will show through it, and I just basically have to recreate the kind of like torn edge right here. But this is a favorite trick of mine. It has been very successful, and as you'll see in a second, it'll, now the pattern that I'm putting it on top of, which was very bold, it will not show through now. Now it has a chance to shine. So I'm putting, and then I want one more piece of washi. This is the TRG washi, my favorite little pink measuring tape washi. Tamara killed a tape roll. Good job. Yay. Okay, so there is that page done, and now I just need to go here. I'm going to grab my prompts, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. So now that I've put this down, now I can go through here and pick something that I think speaks to this picture. This is what I do. I use the prompts backwards. So here is an example what I could use for this. I could do black and white because it has this prominent black and white background. I could put good advice because it says wise words. Everything stinks till it's finished by Dr. Seuss. That is so true. It could also be what I tell myself. And let's see, what about this page? It could be colors, it could be new day, it could be just for fun, all the feels, yes please, this moment, deep thought. So I think I am going to give it something that would be a little harder for me probably. Actually, I'm going to do frame-worthy. So I'm finally busting into that page. Okay, so there is frame-worthy. And now I need to go back to my bingo, which is back here. So I am going to knock off 2 of them here because I can. And I think this time I am going to grab my paper punch buffet, which I feel like I just dropped something out of it, and grab some squares out of here. So I'm going to do So Rad and Washi Washi Washi. Do it down here in that one. So that means I need to grab my pen and then washi washi washi. So the only thing left on here is Stamp Lovin'. Oh, there it is. Washi washi washi. And then So Rad. Done. And then because I want to be done with this, I think I'm going to add some more stickers and make it Stamp Lovin'. Now technically these are stamping elements, so instead of having to pull out a bunch of stamps, you can just print these on clear sticker paper, which makes them super stampy. And now I can add them all over and it looks as if I stamped. So that's going to give me my Stamp Lovin'. Trying to find a spot for this one. Okay. So that feels done to me. And since I'm the only one judging it, I get to decide. And I decide, yes, that is Stamp Lovin'. Okay. I loved my little stamp stickers. I love them. Okay, so I finished everything on here, which means I can officially sign off on my, let's see where we're at. Okay, so here's August. I dressed the honeys. I completed my bingo, thank goodness, and I did my very first week 1 art journaling page. So that means in August I have 1, 2, 3. I just have these 4 things to do. See how helpful the checklist can be? In a glance you can just see where you're at. So I'm super happy with that. I need to finish that little gratitude page, which I'll do as soon as I snap the camera off. And I think that if we have, hopefully I can do at least 2 more PlayBook Power Hours. Like I said earlier in the show, we are going to be leaving on the 11th, heading out to Maine. We had hoped to have left earlier than that, but there's different things that are needing to happen before we can go. So hoping to leave September 11th, and then we will be going live in Maine October 1st. And wouldn't that be fun if I could do a live that day too? And be like, you guys, look, I'm in Maine. In my little West Coast mind, going to New England in the fall is the epitome of fall. It is like going to the magical land of fall. And you guys are going to die when you see our October collection, because it is as if I am taking you guys to Maine. I'm taking you to New England, and we are going to a place where it is forever fall. That is the collection name for October, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be amazing. So this is it for me for today. I hope that you guys got a lot of progress done in your playbooks. Just remember, there is a graphic in the Facebook group, the Crafty Club, where you can find, or it will say post your pictures for your playbook this week, and it'll have like the dates. So it'll be within today's date, September 2nd. So I don't know how they're dated, if they start every Sunday or every Monday, but find today's graphic for the playbook and share your photos of your playbook progress in there. Because if you look here on the bingo sheet in September, you can actually knock out one of your things here. See, posted in the club. And share to spread. If you do you can knock both of these out in the group today if you do that. So, and that way everybody can see what you guys have been up to while I have been dressing my honeys, and I did an art journaling page. So I'm pretty happy with my progress, and I hope you guys are too. So let's plan on reconvening for another PlayBook Power Hour. These are one of those shows I scheduled today's, but I don't normally schedule them. I normally what do you call it? Like I do them like kind of impromptu. And so anyway, but I would love to see what you guys did while I was doing the show. And if you are wondering, Tammy, you're asking about tagging the checklist. I don't know what that means about tagging it, but this checklist came with your Crafty Club playbook. When you downloaded the playbook, it came with this, and it came with the little checklists. So it was part of the little pack of printables, and you would have that in your downloads if you purchased the playbook. So I am working on the winter camp, the 2020 playbook, and how that's going to look. I am going to give it a facelift. It's going to get it's going to be different. It's probably, our playbooks are going to probably start tying in more to camp. That way you guys aren't kind of divided in how you have to work on things. I don't want you to have to work on camp projects and then the playbook separately like we just did in the summer. I want it to be integrated into the things we do. So don't be surprised if you see the playbook as being part of our camps. It'll be part of Camp Wannacraft, our winter camp. So, and I think that will just, it'll be really great. Plus, I'm going to give this kind of like having you be able to treat these like separate seasons. So each season will have its own separate kind of like thing, and I think that's the direction I'm leaning to, and I can't wait for you guys to find out more about it. So I better get to work. I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. Those Americans, enjoying your day off. Everybody else, I'm so sorry that you had to go to work today. But I love your little faces, and I will see you guys in the next show. Be sure to check the events calendar because there were 2 events missing from the newsletter. If you were on the, if you got the newsletter this month. If you have not signed up, be sure to do that at theresetgirl.com. There is a newsletters tab that you just need to plug in your newsletter and you will get it. So love you guys. Love you so much, and I will see you guys soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Love your little faces. Bye. Bye, everyone.